Nothing beats a slice of real New York pizza. I will not be accepting questions, comments, or debates about this. When I first started high school, my father and I did a couple of dry runs, as it were, so that I would be ready to get to school on my own. After all, I was 14 and hadn't spent much time in the city with people, let alone getting around by myself. And just a few short blocks from the building that would become like a second home for 4 years, we found a pizzeria. Of course, this is to be expected. It's Manhattan, after all, and the only thing as easy to find as pizza is Starbucks. If you were familiar with the Upper East Side between 1957 or so and 2016, you might remember Mimi's, a charming pizzeria and Italian restaurant that sat on the corner of 84th Street and Lexington Avenue. It was one of my favorite pizza places in, well, anywhere, really. And Julian, our friends, and I spent a lot of time there over the years, even after graduating. I don't know if I ever had anything other than pizza and mozzarella sticks there, but then again, you really can't go wrong with either of those. When I heard the news that they closed in 2016 due to rising rent costs, I was devastated. I'd definitely taken it for granted. It had been there long before I found it, after all, and felt like such an integral part of the area. Unfortunately, local fame isn't enough to counter capitalism, and not long after Mimi's closed, a Familia's opened in its place. Now, as of this writing, I've never been to a Familia's, so I can't speak to the quality of their food. But it almost feels somehow sacrilegious to open a branch of a chain where an independent eatery once stood. Is that pretentious? It probably is. But Mimi's was always an important place for me. And from what I've read, for some pretty big celebrities as well, including Paul McCartney and Bruce Springsteen. You don't often see names that big on the walls of chains, though I suppose anything is possible in New York. I wish I could have visited just one more time before they closed. Hell, if I'd known they were closing, I probably would have gone as many times as I could have. Mimi's was such a staple of my time in high school that it kind of felt like the end of an era when I found out they were gone. I'm sure for some people, maybe even a lot of them, a pizza place closing doesn't seem like a big deal. But I'm a sentimental guy. I keep ticket stubs and birthday cards and other ephemera that most people look at once and then toss. So naturally, I often find myself a bit more deeply affected by things like this. There have been plenty of other places friends and I have eaten over the years, so it's not like we're short on options for a trip down memory lane. But even so, Mimi's will always hold a special place in my heart. Other places in the area may fill the need for pizza, but none of them can replace the indelible mark Mimi's left on the history of the Upper East Side, or on my own personal history.